I'm feeling so sharp right now. I brought in a new team, new strength and conditioning coaches, new nutritionists. So this is the best
Jake Paul has done it again, announcing his next big fight as if he's already crowned the undisputed champ. Classic Jake, living in his bubble of delusion where every matchup is a foregone conclusion and every win is guaranteed.
Paul, it's clear to me you are desperate for a reality check.
Jake Paul is back, announcing his next big fight. But this time, it's not against a retired athlete or overhyped YouTuber. His opponent, Andrew Tate, the guy already drowning in cash and not needing a boxing payday. Sorry, Jake, your odds look grim.
There's a lot of pressure because you're putting your ego on the line. And secondly, because you have to dedicate yourself to a training camp completely and fully. You can't just do one pad session and put it on the fucking internet and talk about being a fighter. You need to dedicate yourself and try hard and set a date where you have a fair competition against another man and put it on the...
Dream big, Jake. But those dreams won't save you when Andrew Tate steps into the ring. Tate isn't here for your antics, staged hype, or Instagram persona. He's here to silence you and prove a point. Get ready to kiss that false bravado goodbye, because this time, you're not just losing, you're getting absolutely dismantled. Tate's about to turn you into mincemeat, and honestly, we can't wait to see it happen.
Nobody is sitting down right now for good reason. Not only champions of the past, we have world champions of the present. There is a shield in the building.
Andrew Tate, a kickboxing champion, internet provocateur, and currently under house arrest, is Jake Paul's latest target. The only shocking part, that Jake still believes anyone is buying his carnival act. Another day, another overhyped spectacle that screams, "Look at me," instead of, "I'm a serious athlete." Jake isn't fooling anyone, least of all me. Let's rewind. Years ago, Andrew Tate called Jake out when Jake was still throwing limp punches at YouTubers, pretending to revolutionize boxing. And what did Jake do? Ghosted. He didn't even look Tate's way. But now, in 2024, Jake suddenly sees a golden opportunity, or more accurately, a golden payday. Tate's name has exploded, and his controversies have turned him into a household figure. Jake smells money the way a shark smells blood, and once again, he's diving headfirst into another media circus.
Because you managed to become a fucking clown! The biggest clown on the fucking internet!
Andrew Tate has been under house arrest for 6 months. 6 months without stepping inside a gym, let alone a boxing ring. The man is legally confined to his Romanian mansion, while Jake Paul flexes in Miami, pretending this is some epic showdown. Really, Jake? Super brave of you to call out a guy who can't even leave his driveway. Calling it a fight feels generous at best. Let's be honest. This is a well-calculated cherry-pick disguised as a blockbuster event. Another Jake Paul spectacle, perfectly timed and expertly hyped.
I'm on month 6 of house arrest so far, and we'll see how long this continues for, so I'm gonna have to miss it, unfortunately.
Jake Paul isn't even trying to hide it. He's all over social media, hyping this up like it's the fight of the century, while Andrew Tate, housebound and all, still manages to exude more confidence than Jake has in his entire career. Tate flat out said he could beat Jake with just 6 months of training. Meanwhile, Jake's been boxing for years and still struggles to win unless his opponent is older than his dad or fresh out of retirement. Let's be real. Jake's banking on Tate's legal troubles keeping him at a disadvantage. Why? Because Jake doesn't want a real fight. He wants a guaranteed win.
Yeah, no, I think deep down he wants me to win 100%. But
Andrew Tate claims this fight could generate 1.5 million pay-per-view buys, translating to $90 million in revenue. Sounds impressive, right? But let's not get it twisted. Tate's fanbase isn't just massive, it's fiercely loyal. The man could probably sell tickets to a thumb wrestling match. Meanwhile, Jake Paul's followers, they're more invested in the drama and memes than his actual boxing. Sure, he has millions of fans, but how many are really buying into this? And let's not even get started on Jake's track record. His entire career is built on beating opponents who are either retired untrained, or there for a paycheck. His 9-1 record might look respectable at a glance, but dig a little deeper, and it's just a parade of cherry-picked fights. Remember when he fought a 47-year-old Anderson Silva, or when he turned Tyron Woodley, a former UFC champ, into a meme. And now, he's lining up Andrew Tate, a guy who hasn't fought professionally in years and can't even train properly. Bravo, Jake. Truly groundbreaking stuff.
My idol is Anderson Silva to win Knockout of the Year, cover of Sports Illustrated. Like, I've accomplished my goals and beyond.
Jake Paul loves to brag about his accomplishments. Knockout of the Year, Sports Illustrated covers, and goals achieved beyond his dreams. But let's compare resumes. Andrew Tate, a 4-time kickboxing world champion with over 40 professional wins. His fights were about winning titles, not boosting a YouTube channel. Jake's boxing career, on the other hand, started as a joke and has barely evolved. While Tate dominated in combat sports, Jake was busy hyping himself up online. The gap in experience between the two is laughable, yet somehow Jake thinks this asterisk is the fight that will cement his legacy.
If you want to fight, you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life.
Here's the funniest part, the social media war. Sure, Jake Paul might have more followers, but Andrew Tate's audience is on another level. They're not just fans, they're an army. They show up, engage, and dominate the narrative. Meanwhile, Jake's followers seem more interested in roasting him than supporting him. So good luck winning the PR battle, Jake. You're going to need it. As for the fight's projections, they're as inflated as Jake's ego. Tate confidently claims the event could pull in 1.5 million pay-per-view buys, and of course, Jake's nodding along like he's already deposited the checks. At $60 a pop, that's a jaw-dropping $90 million in PPV revenue alone. Throw in an extra $5 million from gate sales and $10 million from sponsorships, and you're looking at over $100 million. Impressive, right? Well, only if you're into overpriced, glorified sparring sessions that leave fans regretting their hard-earned cash. Because for all the hype, this fight feels more like smoke and mirrors than substance.
Probably like 1.5 million pay-per-view buys at like $60. So like 90 million just in pay-per-views, and then probably like another $5 million in gate, and then like $10 million in sponsorships. So like $105 million.
Let's talk about Jake Paul's pay-per-view strategy, often criticized as exploitative or outright scammy. Fans are tired of shelling out $60 to watch Jake hop around the ring, acting like he's the second coming of Muhammad Ali. His opponents, they're either dragged out of retirement or clearly unprepared. But why offer a legitimate fight when selling a fantasy works just as well? Jake knows his audience isn't paying for quality boxing, they're paying for the drama. And somehow, despite the smoke and mirrors, he keeps getting away with it.
Feeling so sharp right now. I brought in a new team, new strength and conditioning coaches, new nutritionists. So this is the best.
Training camps for this so-called epic matchup are shaping up to be just as theatrical as the fighters themselves. Jake Paul's training sessions in Miami look less like serious boxing preparation and more like a fitness influencer's photo shoot. Sun-soaked beaches, flashy gyms, and plenty of Instagram-worthy moments. Because, you know, nothing screams serious fighter like perfectly curated selfies. Meanwhile, Andrew Tate is claiming he'll train in the mountains of Bosnia for 6 months, painting a picture straight out of a gritty Rocky montage. Sure, Tate, and maybe Jake will be sparring polar bears in Alaska. Both of them are selling a story, but let's be real. Jake's version feels more like a reality show than a Rocky sequel.
Because if I were to fight Jake, I'd have to take it very seriously. It'd be a 6-month training camp. I'd have to go to the mountains of Bosnia and not do much else. So if it was that easy, like I said, Jake and I could spar, of course, but that video would be worth millions of dollars. So we can't just throw it on Twitter for free because the whole world wants to see it.
Let's break down their fight styles. Jake Paul, at 26, has youth and heavy power punches on his side. But beyond that, he's all bark and no bite. His strategy is simple: swing wildly and hope for a knockout. It's a one-dimensional approach that might work in select situations, but lacks the depth needed for a serious fight. Meanwhile, Andrew Tate brings years of experience as a four-time kickboxing world champion. He has precision, speed, and a mental edge Jake can only dream of. If this fight actually happens, it won't just be a physical battle, it'll be a mental one too. And Jake's mental game is about as sharp as a butter knife. Now, about the sparring offer. Despite being under house arrest, Tate invited Jake to Romania for a private sparring session, even suggesting that the footage could rake in millions, whether it's released or not. Bold, but also hilariously ironic for someone who claims to be all about the fight. Jake, however, has been suspiciously quiet. Maybe it's because sparring with Tate could expose the glaring flaws in Jake's boxing skills. His entire career is a carefully crafted illusion, and a session with Tate might shatter it in seconds.